Dun 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 dun. You know what that's from?
Lord of the Rings?
No.
Game of Thrones?
No. Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka. Willy Wonka. No, I don't know. It was supposed to be Game of Thrones, but I don't know
It's like a, don't get me lying. And it's probably copyright, so if we get it right, then then there goes the video.
I remember those first couple lines of the theme song, and that's about it. After that, it's just like, I don't know. Something and others.
It's not really a song. It's more like a tune.
Yeah, instrumental, beat, tune, song, thing. That's what it is.
Intro. The long fucking 10-minute intro.
Dun-dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun-dun.
No.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
No.
Something like that.
I love you.
I love you too.
I'm trying to think of what that made me think of, but I can't think very well right now.
Oh, well. Yeah, I always liked watching the beginning part on Game of Thrones just to see all the different things because it updated as the show progressed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it just took so long. I was like, half the time I just felt like
sometimes
skipping it.
Because at the very beginning, it was, you got to see like the castle and then Winterfell and, the main parts. And then as things started, getting bigger, falling down or whatever,
yeah,
you'd see all that crap. Then the wall was introduced and they'd put the wall up and then the wall was no more. And then they'd fall back down.
Yeah, and every time you see some fire or smoke or something and changing the colors. And
Winterfell would be erected at the beginning and then collapse there towards the end. And then it started focusing just in like the city, and then there was just like blood everywhere, and that was pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. I liked it.
I liked it too. It was pretty cool, even if it was longer than the show.
Yeah, I'd watch it a little bit at the beginning of the season, the first couple episodes, and I'm like, all right, let's just skip it.
Yeah, the first couple episodes each season, so you know what it looks like, and then you're like, all right,
I've seen it. Let's skip.
It's like whenever I'd watch American Horror Story, and I'd like to see the first, I'd like to see and take it in, and then I'm like, yeah, I'm done with that. So
yeah, it's like that about any show I watch. I like watching a little intro thing, just kind of see, and then after I've seen it like one or two times, I'm like, all right, skip.
Unless it's one of those that does actually change it every time, because there are some shows that do.
I think Game of Thrones might have changed it some during the season,
not
much,
like
key events, but it wasn't really too much of a difference. I don't know. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Too many episodes.
A lot of episodes. A lot of long episodes.
Mm-hmm. And a terrible ending.
Terrible fucking ending.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't really the ending itself that upset me. I know
the whole season was rushed.
Those last two seasons were rushed. I think they should have kept it at 10 episodes apiece.
Yeah.
Like they had done every other season. And it would have been fine. But they just try to cram too much in all at once.
Yeah, they really... It doesn't help that... It don't help that they just had like a outline of what was supposed to happen, and that's it. They didn't have, the books to actually go by, because he's still working on it, apparently. I don't know if he is or not. I wouldn't be surprised if he's done writing it, and he's just, saying that he's going to keep writing it.
Oh, I know.
He goes down
made
his
some type of post or interview thing or whatever, talk about how he felt like a failure because he's still working on it or something.
Well.
Oh, well, dude.
It happens.
At this point, I'm not expecting it to come out.
I wouldn't either. I don't know. I mean, there's some series like I want to say was it Wheel of Time or whatever? Like that series was going on for so long, and then he died, and then like one of his descendants had like his son or something ended up finishing the last book or whatever because he died before he could finish it. He had like the outline written down somewhere, and his kid finished it off or whatever.
It's like all my books. I got the outlines or the main concept of them. It's just, I don't know. I just go through my moods when I want to write and what I want to write.
What you should do is we should just hire a ghostwriter.
I've always said that. I'd be fine with a ghostwriter, at least the first draft. Because once that first draft's done, I can go in and change it and whatever. I was like when I was having you help write stuff, a lot of stuff I have issues.
Smut. There is no way smut authors can put out that many books in 1 year.
I don't know.
They definitely use a few ghostwriters. They use some sort of writers. I don't know what kind, but
yeah, I've always said I wouldn't mind it if we had the money. or especially since I got like 20 something stories I want to write and stuff. And it just takes forever. And it's just like, it depends my mood, which one I want to write on. But it's like when you was helping me, I would have you like do a little bit if I got stuck, and then I would go in and just completely change it, but just having something there to look at and go off of.
See, this is when, you know, using AI would actually be a helpful tool, because you would go back through and make it into yours, but you would have, you know, the base outline of.
Imagine how many people would throw a fizz like, you used AI to help this?
Like, but
write this? I was like,
the entire thing. You changed the entire thing. You just used
like for my banishment series, I've been kind of working on some here lately. I've been using it some for, I guess, research purposes and stuff.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you know, I know more about Christianity and that kind of belief and religion and stuff. But I know Islam and Judaism is still like Abrahamic religion, still basically the same thing in a sense. And I kind of want to incorporate all of that. And I know some, but not like a whole lot.
Well, yeah, because we grew up in a Christian household or Baptist or whatever. Grew up in that kind of household. We didn't grow up with the other one, and we don't have the books yet.
Yeah, we don't have all the books.
But we will.
So I was using it and stuff, as well as all those non-canonical books of Christianity, like whatever. I think some of it might be canonical for Judaism, maybe. I don't know. The Ethiopian Bible and all that kind of stuff, and a bunch of other.
See, the only thing,
like that.
The only thing that I know about other religions is one day I got really, really, really stoned and watched Zeitgeist.
Sounds familiar, but I don't know what that is.
I don't know what it was, but it talked about religion. If you know, you know, because I can't explain it.
But I know I've done some research myself, but I know I started using AI or whatever, ChatGPT or whatever, researching it.
There are some. I see both sides of the coin when it comes to AI, because there are people that are, you know, making money and such using AI to take other people's work and, you know, turn it into theirs. But then there's like people who, like us, when we make our food recipes and such, we use AI to get our recipes, because I don't want to go and find 15 different recipes and read someone's life story just so I can figure out how to make a friggin' cheeseburger.
Yeah.
But like,
and also because we've looked up recipes on different like food apps and stuff, and we tried, and it tastes like crap. All the stuff that we've had from like ChatGPT is like, hey, come up with some recipes for us to try. Have been pretty decent. Or whatever.
But like, I think
now they might need a little bit more seasoning or a little bit more of this or that, but you make the changes and it's all right. But like that shrimp burgers, y'all hated those. Yeah,
those shrimp burgers sucked.
And that was from an actual person's
recipe. But like, I think there's two sides of the coin when it comes to AI. When you actually use it and make it into yours, and you know, just use it basically as like a skeleton and you build around it, or the people that will, like fake tattoo artists who'll put AI pictures out on their portfolio and say they drew that and stuff like that. People who are, you know, stealing actual work from other people, basically.
Difference between using it to help you and then just copy and pasting stuff in a sense. It's like I completely forgot. I was supposed to say something. Oh, like I like using it a lot for, like I said, research. Because I know at times, you know, I want to look up something, you put it in Google, you got to scroll through all these pages, half of them have nothing to do with what you're actually looking for.
You got to be careful with that, though, because sometimes it's very, very wrong, the information.
But I know a lot of times
Did Timmy fall down the well, Jolene?
I'll be trying to find some type of information and try to Google it, and then it's like you got all these different pages that has nothing to do with what you're looking for. It's just so much easier to just put it into Gemini on the phone or ChatGPT or something.
I know with that though, you got to be careful.
I know you always want to double check your.
Yeah, you have to double check your work, because you can't.
But I mean, it kind of gives you that. And a lot of times, if it's something really important like that, I'm like, you know, give me your sources, and it'll put like links in there, and I can click on the link and
actually interpret it with a human mind and not computer mind
and stuff.
I know. I was watching a YouTuber play Phasmo. And he was like, you know what? Let's see what ChatGPT says about Phasmo. And he looked it up. He asked him about, you know, certain ghost types and how to tell, you know, if it's a ghost. And it was like, it was like maybe 60% right, but the rest of it was just off the wall nonsense and such. And
It's like
you can't just use straight AI. You have to make it yours, and you have to act. Don't use it as.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like a while back when we was talking with Brandon about Wreckfest 2, and I said that there wasn't a definite date, and you said somebody you found that end of the month or something, in March.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I know I've seen people talk about that. That's where they found that was through AI, and that's because it's pulling from a thing that was mentioned when they first released it into early access, that they had hoped for it to be done by, I guess, the end of March 2026 or something.
Yeah.
And that's the only time they've said it, and they've recently been like, we don't know when it's going to come out. I know you want to.
But Trixie, we were talking.
We was talking, misinterrupting. Honk, honk. She's a geese or a duck or something.
Something.
She's a somethings. Jolene's like, I got her ear. Actually, I think that might be Jolene's ear.
There's no telling.
It doesn't look as chewed up. But yeah, it's like, again, with my Bannerman series, I don't know all that stuff. I know Judaism stuff and some Islam things, or whatever, go more in depth with angels and demons and names and other stuff like that. So
most of my demon and angel lore comes from Supernatural.
So I, used it, and then also I'd like to put like some type of verse type text or whatever at the beginning of each chapter, and I don't want it just all from the Bible or whatever. So I've been having it pull different things like that or whatever. And then I can go and double check, make sure that's the actual thing. And it's not like a Stephen King. No matter how many times you shake it, the last 2 drops always end up in your pants.
Yeah, no matter how many times you shake and dance, the last 2 drops end in your pants.
Yeah, and he tried to say that was from the Bible. I remember when I read that, I was like, really? So I went and looked. I was like, it is not.
It could be in some Bible, not
maybe some. I don't
something
know.
that has Bible in the title.
Yeah, I don't know. That's like, what the fuck?
But yeah, there's.
So
I do see, both sides of the coin when it comes to AI.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's also how I look at the world anyway. Like, I don't see just one view set. I try to look at everyone's point of view and try to see, I try to empathize with other people's opinions and beliefs and such.
I might lean more one way or have my own opinion, but a lot of things I'm not like, you're wrong. I might not completely agree with it, but I could see the point you're making.
I don't know. I could see the point some people are making, but I can also be like, you're fucking wrong. You are completely wrong. Like, I can understand. Maybe I could see how you connected those dots, but you need to.
Yeah, like I said, I might not agree with it. I might still be like, no, but I could see it and stuff, and not treat them like they're complete idiots.
Oh, if I had the confidence, I definitely would treat them like idiots, because they're idiots.
Yeah.
What's up?
There's some trying to show by. I was trying to figure out.
It's probably the
I think it might be
people next door.
Yeah, I was supposed to say it kind of looked like their truck. But either way, I know a lot of people complain about AI.
Yeah, every time I go onto any site and see like really cool looking pictures, there's always those comments where they're like, "This is AI," and it's like, I can't tell sometimes if it's AI or not. And I have to look really close to see if I could find like blurry things, and also they could just not be very good at digital art. But I mean,
I feel like I said earlier, as long as you're making it your own and not just using it,
not just straight up copying someone else's work.
That's one thing. As well as, I feel like it depends.
Like, I've seen a lot of pages use AI. Like, they would take an old comic and put it through some beautification process on AI and then pass it off as theirs. Like, that's you're straight up taking that work and trying to say you made it. Like, no, that's not right.
And I feel like also the way, or what you're wanting to use it for. Like, this is personal stuff. Like, I like making images. Look at your football games. Yeah. Like your little football games, there's no competition in it. You're not, winning just because you've got different colored teams and such, but
most of your stuff is AI.
Or whatever, and have them make some logos, and then I go in and
tweak it.
And usually I have them make multiple logos, and I take little bits and pieces that I want, and then I use my knowledge and skills to combine it. But I'm gonna stuff like that. I don't see any harm in it, even if you didn't change it or make it your own. But when you're trying to pass it off and make money off of it,
that's when
I think you cross the line, and you're like, no, this isn't yours. You should be trying to.
Don't steal someone's
that's when
work.
I got a problem with it.
Don't steal someone's work and try and pass it off as your own.
Yeah, that's where I got the problem with it.
And that's how AI is learning, is they're taking bits and pieces of everything online and turning it into something else. And that's why, Pal World got so much of a bad rep, because a lot of the pals on there was AI generated. And look at the biggest, monster catching game out there. It's Pokemon, which means that a lot of the pals are going to look similar to other Pokemon, because there's like 800,000 of them out there. So
they just won't stop. They just keep making more and more. But I feel like that's just going to be the world that we live in, is a lot of AI and stuff.
Technology is taking over the world.
Yeah, I use it.
That is why you have to be nice to the robots.
I've seen iRobot.
I know, you got to be nice to it. You got to be nice to the robots. Say please and thank you. When you ask for a picture, please and thank you. Ask for a prompt, please and thank you.
Yeah, every time I put it in, someone's like, did you say please? Did you say thank you? I was like, no. But I know I use it for like work and stuff.
I said please and thank you when I use ChatGPT and Notion and all of that stuff.
I know. I was like, I've used it for work for different things or whatever. Or if I have to do like a type of detail I haven't really done that much of, like wind bracing plans. I don't do that often. And I know usually that information is given to me, like, but now that they don't, and so I gotta wait for a week or two for Jeff to get back to me. I just get in there like, hey, how do I figure out how much wind bracing needs to be here or whatever? And it tells me, and I'm like, all right.
A lot of people don't seem to realize, though, especially the ones that really hate AI and such and say that all AI is bad AI, whenever they whenever they use a Google search, the first thing is AI. And a lot of times people will see that first thing and be like, okay, that's the truth right there, because Google said so. No, that's Google AI right there. You're literally, and Google will use the algorithm. So say you have, right leaning views, Google's going to pull up right leaning views to go with whatever you want.
Yeah.
To question. So it's going to come up and say, yeah, this is this. And you're going to be like, oh, yeah, that coincides with my beliefs. So that cements it. That's true. That's Google said so. It's like, no, AI said so, because AI has, the little speaker in your back pocket that is listening to every single word you say. And it's going to try and do whatever it wants to make you happy.
Yep, something like that. If you're happy, you'll keep coming back.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you're arguing with somebody, you'll keep coming back.
Yeah.
Something like that. But yeah, it's all how you use it, and I guess what you want to get out of it or whatever.
But I still think AI would have done better on Game of Thrones than the directors of Game of Thrones. Because
I think they should have just finished it, like I said, all 10 episodes. The actual writing and stuff, all right.
Because there was only like 6 or 8 episodes those last 2 seasons, right?
I think 6 and 7, maybe 7 and 8, something like that.
Yeah, because they could have.
They cut it down a couple more episodes, and some of those episodes just felt rushed.
It was very rushed, especially the very last season. Like everything was rushed in the last season, and
they could drag that out a little bit more, and stuff.
Especially the very final battle, like the big, ending that they were building up to, and it was just like done in 1 episode.
Yeah,
it's like, really.
Yeah, it's just terrible. And I know some people complain about Game of Thrones, like the actual ending they didn't like how it ended.
I never expected a happy ending anyway.
I didn't expect a happy ending, and it ended about how I expected it to, and stuff like that. So I wasn't too concerned about that. I don't have an issue with the ending itself. It's just how rushed everything was. I was like, you could still have the exact same ending, because that's the ending that George R.R. Martin told the directors that he wanted. Yeah, and stuff. But
they could have expanded on a lot of the. They could have better cemented some of the plot holes and tie up loose ends and such a lot more coherently than just push everything together and say this is how it is.
Because I know some people didn't like that Arya killed the Night King. Spoiler. Sorry, I probably should have said that first. But,
Spoiler alert.
But either way, some people don't like that, but I was like, I'm sure that's something that George R. R. Martin told them.
Yeah.
Any of those big decisions would have been what he wanted to do. But I know a lot of people was like, oh, that sucked, wait until the books come out, it's going to be different and stuff. It's like, if it's different, it's going to be because he's heard so much backlash about it.
Yeah,
he might change it.
He's going to base it off of, people do not like this.
And that might have been another reason why he's taken so long, because he might have had it and it's like, oh, people don't like this. Let's go back and redo some of this stuff.
I don't know. I think if they added more oomph to the series, to the very end of the series, it would have helped a lot.
Yeah.
They didn't. They just...
I mean, the whole show was kind of foreshadowing Jon Snow doing it, and then it was her, just like out of nowhere. It's like, oh, okay. I mean, a little bit more foreshadowing there. Not even a whole bunch, but just a little bit, like maybe a couple episodes before or something.
Yeah.
Or whatever. I mean, just like I said, adding those extra couple episodes. I mean, it wasn't even like super short. It wasn't like 4 episode seasons like Upload was. It was, just.
Gosh, they ended. There's so many shows out there that they just.
Yeah.
There's so many shows with like no endings or horrible endings, and it's just frustrating.
I don't know if y'all watched it, but we started watching Upload when it first came out.
It's on Amazon Prime.
It's on Amazon Prime, and I liked it. It's the basic overall concept was somebody dies wherever you could upload their memory.
You could
or something.
take your memory and put it into an AI world. So AI,
and then once you die,
it's
you're
basically
like,
heaven. You get to live on in this, computer generated heaven, basically. But then, corporations be doing corporation things, and they decided to monetize it.
Yeah. And then also it was a way for them to still make money off of you, because it had like microtransactions in the thing.
Yeah.
Like if you wanted food or certain clothes or whatever, you'd
or
have
just
to
to keep being, because your data basically.
Data. I don't know. It showed some that were like 1 gig or something like that. Mm-hmm. People and
you get like a gig free each month or whatever, and then
and then they'd freeze up for a month, and then all that kind of stuff. But it was a cool concept. I liked it. I enjoyed the
concept. I really did.
There was only 4 seasons. I feel like season 3 might have been a little bit shorter than the first 2. I can't remember.
I don't know, but
I know the 4th season was 4 episodes, and how they ended it was like stupid.
It was so rushed. Like,
the very end, like after I guess what they would say is the climax to the very end, when it's kind of catching up, how everybody's moved on or something. It's just like, this is just. I was so confused at first.
Yeah,
I was like, this seems like the end of a series, not just the end of an episode or a season, end of a series. I'm like, this is the 4th episode.
Yep.
I was like, why couldn't y'all just put this on?
It was the end. They ended it. They were like, no more.
They could just put that in the 3rd season. And
no, they could have just tacked on the 3rd season and made it a little bit longer.
Yeah, or something. But
there's nothing in there, Jolene.
She's like, there is. I'm hungry. Give me foods. But just that, and I feel like they could have done it in a way where they could add more to it later. But now it's like, no.
They've tied up every end that they possibly could have, and in such a way that it just make no sense.
Because like I told you,
I don't know. There's one ending. There's one thread that they could have possibly continued on with, but I don't.
Yeah, it's like I said, because he put like all of his memories of him and her on that ring disc thing. And
spoiler.
You're gonna get spoilers.
We should just title this episode "Spoiler Alert."
Maybe, but they could do that. I know that was only certain memories in here.
Are you quite done?
She's like, no, I gotta drink all this water. I ain't got no water in my bowls.
Because you drank it all.
No, Trixie probably drank it all. She don't drink her own water.
I watched her finish it off.
Oh, she did. Well, it's just, I don't know. There's a way that they could have, they would have had more work to do to try to explain it, but I think they should have at least finished that season.
There's so many shows and such that I've watched over the years that the endings have just disappointed me, or lack of endings. Like, that I watched the Santa Clarita Diet show all the friggin' time. Like every single time the episode would play, I'd be there at the TV watching it because I really liked that show. And then they ended the last season on a cliffhanger where you don't know what's going to happen next. Like they didn't even tie anything up. They just said, oh, this person died and, she tried to save them, but we don't know if she succeeded or not. Like there's no telling if there's no telling what happened. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's like the directors are anticipating future seasons to continue, and then the show just gets canned, and they're like, "Oh, well."
I feel like, oh, she's pottying. I feel like I hate it because I don't want every season of any show to feel like, it's the last season.
Yeah.
But at this point, with how, especially like, streaming platforms and such, I feel like
I feel like what they should do, I've seen some shows do it, where it doesn't feel like the end of a series, but it wraps up that season nicely.
Yeah.
And then they start a whole new kind of plot line the next season.
Maybe they should start treating it like a soap opera. Like you can end a soap opera at any point and probably know what's going to happen next.
Or just not watch it for like 4 years and then go back and get caught up in the episode.
But like, I think I wouldn't want them to actually do something like that. I'd rather, they actually naturally come to the ending and not, try and force it or whatever.
Yeah.
But with how streaming services are, where, if you don't get very many views one season, you're going to cut the show, and then there goes the show for the people who are actually watching it. Like maybe they should, quote unquote, end the season every season or whatever.
Yeah, I feel like
end the series every season and continue on from there.
Yeah, maybe not like a full-on series. I mean, something like Game of Thrones or something like that that's got an overall main arc for the whole series. It'd be kind of hard for it, but other stuff like, Lucifer.
New shows and such, like...
They usually just have like an arc for the season, and then the next season they do like a whole nother arc. And then that way it does get canned. You're not like the last episode was like a complete cliffhanger. Like, I don't know what happens next. Like, all right, well, everything's tied off.
But Santa Clarita Diet literally ended on a cliffhanger, which it's a zombie show. She wakes up, she's a zombie, and she becomes a good zombie who only goes after Nazis. So, she's a good zombie, but a close character to her ends up possibly dying at the very end. And that was the last episode. We don't know what happened. It pissed a lot of people off, and there's so many people that want to know what happened, but because of contracts and such, the directors can't even take back over the show and go somewhere else with it because it's, I think, was it Netflix? I don't know. It could have been Netflix that had it, but whichever company owned it.
It was on Netflix. I don't know.
Then it was probably Netflix.
I don't know if it was a Netflix.
Whichever company owned it, they still own it, even though they canceled it. So you can't take that and go somewhere else with it because contract says they own it, even if you're the one who created it.
Yeah. It's like me with my books or whatever. If I got traditionally published and like my first book didn't do good or something, they can make it so I can't continue the series, even though I intend for it to be a 4-book series, and then I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't.
Contracts suck.
Yeah, so that's why. Another reason why I decided to self-publish that one. If it was just like standalone something that I'm not as persistent on having it exactly how I have it or whatever, then I'd be more likely to try for a traditional publisher, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. But, I mean, you can do so much stuff yourself nowadays, so there's really no sense in having it unless you just don't want to take on all that responsibility.
Right. I don't know. I've watched I say watched, but there was a comic that I was reading on Webtoons that I really, really liked. Like, it's literally the main reason why I started using Webtoons in the first place. And it started getting more adults, which there's a lot of, interesting things on that site. So like what happened wasn't even anything off the wall. Like, I've seen worse on that on that website or app or whatever, but they decided that was too explicit for their taste, which was, the main character finally had sex. Like, oh my goodness, this chick had consensual sex with the dude. And suddenly, they were like, no, that's too explicit. It didn't show anything, but like they decided, well, no, this is a family friendly site with, X-rated crap everywhere. And they were like, yeah, we can't do this anymore. So they canned her series, and she had to wait, like, I want to say 3 or 4 years for her contract to finally end before she could take her series and put it anywhere else. And it's just...
She better be glad that was in the contract, because some contracts, it doesn't matter how long it is. It's like, no, they own it.
Yeah.
It's like, I know when I was really heavily into writing and stuff, when I was still working on my first book, I seen all kinds of stories of authors where we were being like at a book signing and somebody bring up like one of their older books, and they just break down crying because they can't sell that book anymore. And this and that. It's like it's been so long they didn't really publish that many of them because they didn't do that good or whatever, and they were still really new at that point in time or whatever.
But copyright and like you basically sell the rights to your property when you go to another company to do all of that stuff, and it's just really disappointing.
Even as a self-published author, I had to buy my own ISBNs. She's fine. She walked away. But I bought my own ISBNs or whatever, even though Amazon gives you a free one when you publish stuff on there. They'll put it for free. But then they own the ISBN, which means that they own some rights to your book or whatever, in a sense. So if they ever want to shut down or whatever, you have to still go and buy another.
Derek.
She wants in now.
I told you.
I know, but then she walked away.
She walked away because she's
like, I don't want Daddy to do it. Y'all got muddy paws.
We need to clean the windows. We need to clean the house. There's mud. It has been raining nonstop or off and on.
Off and on.
It's been raining off and on. Our yard is completely soaked. And it's winter, which means there's no grass. And we've got dogs that
go in and out
every 3 minutes. So I give up on my floors. I give up. I don't see the purpose in, I want a clean house, but I do not see the purpose in sweeping and mopping the same patch of floor multiple times a day, every single day for the rest of until this crap dries.
Yep. Yeah, it was like a Divergent, that movie series.
Yeah.
That pissed me off. I like the movies. It wasn't like something that I was like, oh, this is the most amazing movies or whatever. But I mean, something, each time a new one came out, I watched it or whatever. And it was all right. But then they're supposed to be in what, like 4?
Yeah.
I think?
They ended it on 3. They did not finish.
I was like, y'all had one more.
They had literally one more movie to do. And
I was like, it'd been one thing if they did the first one, it didn't do good. And they're like, all right, we're not going to continue. But
it would have been one thing if they did what whoever did the Inkheart and Eragon, whoever did Inkheart and Eragon, they literally butchered the entire series, 3 or 4 book series to the point where it can't continue after the movie that they did. I'm not even going to go into how pissed off those 2 movies made me because I loved those books and they screwed it up. They literally said, nope, we're not doing it. Same with Golden Compass. I think they kind of messed up on Golden Compass too. But
hey, y'all behave.
I don't know. I think Golden Compass, they could have continued if, it wasn't, if there wasn't so much controversy behind that movie, they could have continued with it. It could have been the next Narnia, but oh my gosh, the author is an atheist, so we can't do that because it'll hurt the feelings of all the Christians out there. Just watch another movie. Right. Don't let your kids watch it. If it's not child appropriate or you don't feel it's appropriate, you don't have to boycott it to the point where no other company will pick it up.
To the point of just not watching it. That's boycotting enough.
Yeah, just don't watch it. Just mind your own freaking business. Don't watch the movie. It's okay.
Yep. But yeah, the fact that they did 3 movies of the Divergent series, and they literally just had one left. I was like, I don't care how terrible the 3rd movie did. Do it.
Finish it. Just finish it.
Don't go this far into the series and just about, nah. I was like, come on. Save some money. Cut back on some stuff or whatever for the 4th one. You don't want to lose out that much money, but come on.
There's so many. I want to say there's a TV show that I watched. It was about dinosaurs. They find like this portal where they can go back in time and they send like this colony back in time to, I guess, I don't even know what the goal was, but there were friggin' dinosaurs and it was so cool. And it ended on like 1 season and no more dinosaur show. And there's not very many dinosaur shows out there. And it was really freaking cool. I can't remember what it was called, but I watched it as a kid and it was so awesome because dinosaurs. Just Trixie.
She was laying on her back and I had to see all 4 of her legs just up in the air.
I don't know if y'all can hear the dogs, but Trixie is the whiniest little.
She used to not be vocal
husky. That's
either.
the husky in her right there. That's
right.
Just whine bag.
She used to not be vocal at all. And since we got Jolene, she whines and honks and everything else.
Yeah, there's just so many shows out there that I wish they could have continued, or even some shows that they probably should have just stopped after a point.
There's plenty of shows. I'm like, how has this got like 8 seasons? It's like, what the hell? Or like every season is like the same thing.
It's the same freaking thing.
It's like, I just don't understand.
There's so many. Like, I could get kid shows continuing on and on because you know the kids have goldfish minds. So if it entertains
and also
them,
those kids grow up and get out of that, and then a new generation of kids, so they can kind of keep repeating things and stuff.
Yeah, because no one's gonna know.
They've got a continual flow of audience coming in and stuff, but
just there's
just a bunch of
there's
stuff.
just so many shows out there that's disappointed me in how they've ended it or continued it or changed things, and it's just really friggin' frustrating. Yeah. And there's some things, there's some shows and
that just won't stop.
There's some shows and movies, where they actually changed, little things and it worked. Like the movie The Mist, they changed, a few small things, and the ending was so different and so traumatizing, I guess. It wasn't I wouldn't say it's traumatizing, but it was so different that Stephen King even said he wished he had thought about that because it would have been perfect for, his type of work and such.
Yeah. I think the directors should have some type of creative freedom to some extent, as long as it still stays in line with the overall thing, as well as if it's being based off of a book or something that the author or somebody approves of. But because I know, I always said, my story got turned into something. I'd want it turned into a show because I don't want it feeling rushed, and I'd want about everything that I put in it for the most part.
Because what's the point of having these long ass episodes?
Yeah,
if you're not going to actually
use that material.
If
y'all can't do it, because I know my first book, I think it would go good as 2 seasons. The build up before the war and then the war itself. And the build up before the war, there's several chapters there, but I don't know if it'd be enough for a full season. I think I'd be fine with them adding things into it. I'd want to approve it, make sure it stays in line with the characters and stuff like that. Make sure Caperan's Caperan and stuff like that, and everything else. But I was like, I'd be all right with them.
But they shouldn't just, use the same names of the characters and turn it into something completely
I was
different.
Like, no. It's like same thing with the fan fiction or whatever. I was like, I don't care about people, making fanfic on my stuff, whatever. I think that's
think if your book becomes a fan fiction, then you're doing okay. Okay, because guess what?
Compliment is, what is it? Imitation's the greatest compliment, or form of compliment, something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah,
I don't
whatever
know.
it is.
But,
so I was like, somebody likes my story and my characters enough to want to write it themselves.
That's like
okay, go for it.
I want to say 50 Shades of Grey was confirmed. The rumor that it was the rumor that 50 Shades of Grey started out as a Twilight fan fiction was actually confirmed.
Yeah.
And I mean,
really? Y'all want to stop now?
They got an audience. They're camera shy.
Get her! Jolene's like, I got the ear.
I'm going to make coffee while we got this intermission.
They want to be camera shy.
It's every single time.
Every single time. All right. Well, we're going on some time here.
It's intermission time. I need coffee.
I think it's about ending time. Terrible ending, but let's do it.